How are you? Okay, I'm a bit knackered. That was a long walk there, but I'm knackered because I have 2 young children. Are there any parents here tonight? There's probably loads, but they're just too tired to go. Wait. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and the last 3 years has been 3 years of no sleep and late nights. Because fucked if I'm going home with a kid in the house. Just out drinking, you know. But I was very religious as a young boy growing up, and my favourite programme on telly was The Angelus, you know. Because, in fact, back in the 70s, that was the only kids' programme on RTE. It was like, you know, it used to be a picture of the Virgin Mary or something, you know, it was like a cartoon, you know, with a bell on it. But now it's different. You see The Angelus these days, they've jazzed it up a bit. And there's a video of, like, the bell rings, and there's video of people just doing normal things. I don't know, riding a bicycle or something, and I'm fixing a car or something like that, and the bell rings, and they go. I don't know what they're doing, you know, but I don't like it. You know, it's very rural. It's like people making hay and shooting cattle or something, you know. But you don't see anyone in the inner city. You never see someone like you never see someone like the inner city of Cork or Galway or Dublin. Like you never see a junkie on the Angelus, you know. See someone going like that. Story. Fucking bell, what? Fucking wrecking me buzz, man. You know, man.
Because it's dangerous to fall in love with a priest or a spiritual leader at all. I know what I'm talking about because my dad is a priest. Better elaborate on that. He's a vicar, I'm a Protestant. That shuts you up. But it doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter if they're Protestant or Catholic or Buddhist, Muslim, Hindu, Hare Krishna type or Jew. Spiritual leaders as lovers will not do. I've seen so many emotional wrecks who have all found out the hard way there are no safe sects. Never go home with the Muslim fundamentalist. You might just lose one of your limbs. If you think of all the nightmares, all the bad dreams that you've had, there's nothing to compare with when you drive a mullah mad. For the might and wrath of Islam, that's a lot of wrath and might. Man, you really flip if you opine it's all a load of Shiites. So never go home with an Ayatollah if you want to live to see another night. Never go home with a rabbi. It's a fate that's to be feared. He'll talk to you in Hebrew and whip you to a fever. You will want him from the crown of his hat to the tip of his beard. But you'll never win his love, no matter how you try. You'll want to weep, but then you can't, 'cause guys don't cry. You better stick to Gentiles. This man will drive you mental. No, never let a rabbi take you home. Never give your body to a proddy. I know what I'm talking about. And avoid all nonconformists like the plague. There's nothing quicker than a vicar, nothing faster than a pastor. Since Martin Luther and that nun, they've all been loose and gay. For Protestants are risque and just a little frisky. If they can, then they will grab it. They just can't break the habit, darling. Never go home with a Protestant. They're a headstrong, temperamental bunch. Never go home with a Catholic priest. You won't have anything to celebrate. Oh, he'll dress in naughty hosiery and tempt you with a rosary. But he'll leave you still immaculate 'cause he's celibate. Oh, you might like to be licked, but the Church of Rome is strict. You'll be lucky if you manage to get your conscience pricked. So never go home with a Catholic priest if you want to find the one true love. Yes, if you want to stay okay, then you had better stick with laymen. And don't take a man of God home. Thank you very much indeed.
Hello. Do you know, I grew up in the 70s in Sligo, right? I loved, they had a brilliant drink drive out back then, right? And what they had was this road full of people lying down covered in blankets. To give you some idea about how many people died in the roads in Ireland due to drink. But I thought, no wonder you're going to die if you sleep in the middle of the road. I always remember the guard said they would stop somebody if they suspected they were drink driving because they were driving erratically. Now, I grew up in Sligo in the 70s. You had to drive erratically because that's the way the roads were built. You'd go off them. I remember coming from the north. They used to have beautiful roads there, and we had the crap roads. I remember you'd go over the border, you'd be driving along the north going, oh, this is lovely. I was only 6. Then you cross the border and suddenly, oh, I'm back in the south. I just remember there was a big sign up, it said, road works ahead. Oh, because it doesn't work here. Do you know, Ireland has no defence industry. We've no way of defending ourselves if anybody attacks us. That's why we're so friendly. Because we don't want to be hit. Ireland's produced one weapon in the last 50 years. The spud gun. We thought we've enough ammunition, let's go for it. If Ireland was attacked by Iraq, what would we do? We'd build a giant bar along the east coast of the country. There you are. What are you doing over here? Invading the country, is it? Oh, you've come to the right country for that. Hey, you, no smoking down the end of the bar. You can invade this country, but you won't smoke, we'll kill you. We just sit on the fence so much. We just sit on the fence. Bertie Ahern's, Bertie, he just sits right on the fence. When George Bush said, you're either with us or against us. You're either with us or against us. This is what Bertie said. Bertie said, yes! No, you're either with us or against us. Yes, we are. No, with us or, yes, and no. Both of them. Fucking have a pint. Leave us alone. We're great crack. Diddly night. Don't hit us. Top of the morning to you. Here, Ahmed, you have a pint too. We love you too. You know, I thought Ireland could have helped in Iraq in one way. We could have helped with clearing landmines. We could have lined up river dance at one end of the country. Turn on the music. Diddly-idle-diddle-diddle-doo. Diddly-idle-diddle-doo. See you, Flatley. You're a real star now. Anyway, that's all from me. You've been a lovely audience. Thank you and good night.
But anyway, just to endear myself that a little bit more to the audience, I became a highly mediocre and angry primary school teacher. And I just know how much you're going to love me now. It was just one of those jobs I fell in love with straight away because I was completely unqualified, unsupervised, and generally unaccountable at the time, and it was great. And so I thought it might be interesting to kind of take myself to college and find out the exact extent of the psychological damage I did. Probably to a lot of your children. I never got tired of writing new material for parent-teacher gigs because it was just such an opportunity to be that Kathleen person and to make people feel inadequate, not only as parents but as people as well. And it was just I did a lot of improv in those as well. I was just always coming out with it, and it's very easy to kind of, you know, I usually would start with something like your child's auditory perception, second to none. His perceptive perception is also very good. I do have some concerns about your child, however, and that would be regarding the whole area of his personality. No, it's just his general presence I find irritating. You know, when he walks into the room and I just get that, oh! And that's the thing about teaching, you know, what you learn. I mean, it is one of those jobs, and it's true what they say, that you tend to learn more from the children than they will learn from you. For example, I learned that children do have this really amazing capacity to produce snot at a rate that we could never hope to compete with.
Because I remember, like, I grew up in a farm, you know, and I was just hanging around with animals and stuff. And I got to know animals quite well, you know, and chickens are feckers, like, Do anyone know anything about this? Chickens are like slappers. You know, they're hanging around the farm looking at you like that. You know. They're orangey faces, you know. Fake tan all over them, you know. And they're looking at you and they pretend they see a worm and they're like, look at me. I can fit an egg out there. Mightn't look much to you now, but... and they come up to you, they're like little prostitutes coming up to you like that. Fuck. And they're tough, don't give a chicken any hassle, or they're like, fuck off! So this song is not really a song, but it's like just thinking about, you know, the way when you have kids and you sing them nursery rhymes. And I was just wondering, like, rock stars, when they're singing nursery rhymes to their kids, like, do they put a bit more effort in? Like, I mean, Lou Reed, for example, would probably come into his kid's room and he'd be singing about Jack and Jill, but he'd set the whole thing in New York, and they'd all be transsexual junkies, you know? So they'd be like... Jack and Jill went up a hill. Jack was taking smack. Jill was really a man dressed as a lady who gave good head for crack. Or then Morrissey would babysit probably for Lou Reed, so Morrissey come along. Because I don't think Morrissey would have kids because he's a vegetarian and kids are made of meat. And but Morrissey would be coming along, he'd be singing Old King Cole, right? He'd be like, Old King Cole was not a merry old soul. He was sad, he was visible, and he wanted to try. So he called for his fiddlers three, and they were killed by a double-decker bus. Now go to bed, and I hope that you don't die before you wake up. Well, thank you very much. But who else? Johnny Cash would be great crack. He'd come in, he'd have his kids in a little prison in like San Quentin or whatever. He'd be singing about Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, and he'd turn it into a song about Jack would be an outlaw or something like that. So it'd be like, well, my name is Jack, I'm nimble, I'm quick. I jump over candlesticks. My aim is to clear the flame. If I don't, I could be badly maimed. I'll fall into a burning candle of fire. I'll go down, 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 and the candle will go higher. And I'll burn, burn, burn my ring of fire, my ring of fire. Okay. Thanks very much. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Thanks.